Welcome to this Kai paper about exploring the impacts of background noise on auditory stimuli of audiovisual eHMIs for hearing, deaf, and hard of hearing people. My name is Wenger, together with Falou from Birmingham City University, and this work is done in collaboration with Dave from Eindhoven University of Technology, Cham from University of Sydney, and Mark from UCL. External human-machine interface has been proposed for many years to facilitate the communication between autonomous vehicle and other road users. Recent years, there's a growing research on multimodal eHMIs as the literature believe that multimodal eHMI could be more accessible. And typically, these multimodal eHMI involve visual and audio eHMIs. However, there's no common agreement on which auditory eHMIs should be used. In addition, we found out there's a lack of background sound involved in those simulations. In a recent review, it shows that only 3 out of 31 research employ ambient noise when testing with auditory eHMIs. Most critically, we found that there's also a lack of research with sensory disabled people, especially with deaf and hard of hearing people. Therefore, we conduct our virtual reality studies to understand that. And this study was structured by these 3 research questions. For the research question 1, I asked about how do the ratings for experience and behavior differ between hearing and DHH participants. Research question 2 asked about what impacts does the background noise have on pedestrians regarding experience and behavior. Research question 3 asks about the impact of auditory stimuli among the audiovisual eHMI on pedestrian regarding experience and behavior. The VR study was conducted in Vigil XR4, which also support the eye tracking. To enable participants to work in the VR environment, we used the Cyber's virtualizer ELAT2. In total, our VR study involved 36 participants, 25 from the hearing group, and then 11 self-identified as deaf and hard of hearing people. We collected both subjective and objective measurements that cover the crossing experience by a variety of questionnaires, and we also collect the crossing behavior by the polygram. And we also conduct a semi-structured interview in the end. The right bottom corner shows 2 images of the city environment, which we use the same program from Mark that was published in 2023. We made certain adaptations to make it for our study purposes. Our study followed a 2x3 racing subject design with all conditions being counterbalanced. The 2 independent variables are the background noise and auditory stimuli. For background noise, we have 2 conditions. One is quiet, that consists of light social activities. One is loud, that consists of dense social activities and the site of construction that's been placed near the user. For auditory stimuli, we have 3 conditions. The baseline, which consists of the vehicle moving sound and the vehicle engine sound. The moving sound is basically the tire sound. The bell condition and the speech condition is built on top of the baseline. The bell would consist of a bell sound. Speech, well, basically of the human speech. This is a video of quiet background noise and together with the speech eHMI. When the vehicle slows down, it would say, I'm stopping.
I'm stopping. I'm stopping. I'm stopping. I'm stopped.
And when the vehicle fully stopped, it would say, I'm stopped. The next condition is the loud background noise condition with the bell sound. For the details of the implementation of the virtual city and also of the background noise, auditory eHMI, please refer to our paper. To answer our first research question, we found out that some measurements of experience was rated higher by the hearing participants than the DHH participants. Our interview confirmed that this is most likely due to the fact that hearing participants were able to hear most of the sound under both of the sound background noise condition. For instance, we found out that all hearing participants could perceive one of the auditory eHMIs under both background noise conditions. This is only 7 out of 11 for DHH participants. We also found that most hearing participants, that's 21 out of 25, could perceive both auditory eHMIs under both background noise conditions. However, this is only 2 out of 11 for DHH participants. To answer our research question 2, which is about the background noise impact, we found out that loud background noise impairs participants' crossing experience, and surprisingly, it does not impair the crossing behavior. As for research question 3, on the impact of auditory stimuli on pedestrian experience and behavior, we found out that providing additional auditory eHMIs such as bell and speech improve the experience, but does not impact the behaviors. We did observe some variability within the DHH group among the auditory eHMI, and we found out that this is not solely because of the hearing loss level, because even they are categorized in the same hearing loss level, they would perceive things differently, as we can see in the peers we have mentioned and in the table. Our interview and our observations kind of confirmed that. We found out it may also depend on the hearing technologies being used. Each user, they may use hearing aid from different companies, and each hearing aid may have different priorities and functions. So some hearing aids may amplify speech, some may filter out the background noise, or some may have a mixture of both functions. In the end, we could not conclude which auditory eHMI was better. However, our results are still quite useful and valuable because we observed several concerns during the interview and observation regarding Bell eHMI and also the speech eHMI. For Bell eHMI, participants mentioned it is hard to understand the meaning and also the intention at the beginning. They also found that there's a weak association with traffic. There's a risk that the bell sound could be masked as a background noise, which then could be filtered out by their hearing aids as background noise. As for speech eHMI, we found out when DHH participants are focused on the crossing, they may only partially hear the message content. For instance, one participant mentioned that they only heard stopped from the message content unstopped. To conclude, this is the first evaluation of effects of background noise on auditory stimuli on crossing experience and behavior between hearing participants and DHH participants. In total, we have 4 practical implications. We call for future research to involve disabled people. We also call for future research in eHMI to employ some sort of background noise that simulate the real-life experience. Even though we found out DHH participants may not be able to hear auditory eHMI under both background noise conditions, we did receive comments from DHH participants saying they would not be able to confidently cross without auditory eHMI. Therefore, we still recommend enabling audiovisual eHMI. And lastly, we suggest the eHMI researcher, designers, and alternative industries to work with hearing technology providers and to generate hearing technology-friendly auditory eHMI.